be good. I think. I hope. Let's see. So, as the title suggests, I'll be making blueberry jam for the first time. I've never tried it before, but I've gotten really into making stuff. And Mom is out in the forest. She really enjoys walking, and she found some blueberries. She found some mushrooms as well, but not really too fond of mushrooms. Hey, Lynn, how are you doing? I'm gonna start by just making sure there is no gunk in it. Small blueberries this year. But I mean, they just started popping up. I'm okay. had a bit of a rough day, but otherwise I'm fine. I'm excited to finally getting to try this out. I've been waiting for the blueberries to pop up for so long now. I may have made an oopsie. Oh well. We'll do that later. We can actually just make sure everything is nice and clean, because I'm going to process everything anyways. But not now. Yeah. I saw a show on YouTube. If you've seen it, It's So Expensive. That basically talks about why different items are so expensive, and one of them were Scandinavian blueberries, because our blueberries grow in the forest, and you have to handpick them. But they are super good, and they are apparently exported all over the world. Hi there, Vincent. How are you doing? What? Hang on. Just gonna check if my dog has food. Har du ätit upp här hela? Now he has some food. Yeah, seems I am. Actually, Mom didn't only find blueberries while she was out. She also found a bunch of wild strawberries. So I'm really excited about that, because, oh my god, I love them. I hope that if I get good at this, I hope to be able to make a bunch of jam for like family members and friends and give it away as gifts, because I feel like homemade stuff is so much more personal than anything else. This is gonna take forever, but oh well. This is my first time. Yeah. Hi, Caesar. How you doing? I remember my grandmother, because everyone in my family loves being out in the forest picking mushrooms. Nobody really enjoys mushrooms except for one. And my grandmother, she would always get stuck with the task of cleaning up the mushrooms and drying them. So she would be in the kitchen. When mushroom season started, she would be in the kitchen all day, every day, fixing up everything. And there would like be so much mushrooms. Oh no, chili in your eye. Oof. Yeah, I think most of us have done that one. Oop. Oh yeah, in case anyone's missed it, Aylin now has a channel, so go and subscribe to that. Her very first video is out. It's a comfort video with the Greek goddesses. And after I'm done with this, I have so much to do today. I need to clean. I need to edit a bunch of videos because next week I will be away at a convention. So I have so much to do. I prefer getting like 3 videos edited today so I can relax a bit more and not have to think about that during the convention. Not that I have that much to do at the convention anyways. Are you going? Do you mean you're going on convention, Caesar? I'm supposing you are. Yesterday, my father and I we were supposed to go inline skating, but the weather wasn't very good. It started pouring down. Nope. And so, I see. I think actually I am going to take my stuff and sit down. I am going to get you real soon. Yeah, maybe I should put these down so you can actually see. Is that better? I think it is. And we are moving the flower away. Let's see what I missed. Oh dear. I'm curious to see how it'll evolve. I really like that series yet so far. But yeah, yesterday me and my father were out at the. We were going out and inline skating, but it started pouring down. So we were just like, what do we do now? So we went up on this mountain, and when we got there in time, it had stopped raining. But we found this museum, which was really interesting about sailing planes. I don't quite know what they're called in English, but in Swedish they're directly translated from Swedish. It's called sailing planes. But this a Norwegian old man guided us and told us a bit about planes and everything. It was interesting. They had a plane from the 1920s. Take care. Take care, Ellen. And we found, when we were driving down, we found a spring with fresh water coming straight out of the mountain. We were just like, is this good water? Or will it taste? My dog is making up the pillow. Or will it taste a lot like iron? Because some springs can do that. But it tasted good. It was really cold and fresh. Så det var nice. Vill du ha ett blåbär? Ja! Vi tycker ju om blåbär. Nej, inga blåbär för dig. It was really, really cold and fresh, and it was cool because there was so much water coming straight out of the spring. So we actually filled up 2 water bottles. Sorry, Caesar. No live roleplay. I don't. I prefer being able to prepare scripts and everything. And if I were to have like a more Q&A centered thing, I would again like to prepare beforehand. It's really cute because sometimes when you're out walking and there's a lot of blueberries, my dog will sit down and start picking his own blueberries to eat, and he's so careful to only pick the berries. He really likes blueberries usually. He didn't want today. And the thunder has calmed down now. When I went to the store earlier, there was a lot of thunder. I would guess that they'd eat like seaweed and that kind of stuff, depending on whether they're mermaids or herbivores or carnivores. Maybe they'd eat fish or shrimp. My my hands are starting to get all purple from the blueberries. What I was actually thinking about when I hinted to that, and I think it was in the original audio as well about a farm, is that mermaids grow seaweed. Like they could have schools of fish, groups of fish. English is confusing. But groups of fish, like cattle, that the mermaids would take care of until they are ready to be turned into food. Honestly, such a perfect day to do this. Because, put the leaf in the blueberry basket and the blueberry in the junk basket. It's honestly such a perfect day to do this because the rain is really coming down. So you don't really feel like going out anyways. You can just sit here. What do you mean? Don't quite understand. Crap. No, but I mean, I don't understand your question. Oh, yeah. It's such a long time since I did that audio. Barely remember it myself, but I think that character had been washed up on the beach, and that's how the listener found them. a mini bug. I am going to have to clean so many blueberries. Oh my gosh. This is like what I've done yet so far. This is what I have left. You can like see the silhouette of how many blueberries I have to clean. Oh, it'll be fine. And once I'm done, I can freeze blueberries I won't be using today. And then I can make blueberries from them another time. I don't quite know, Caesar. Yeah, it is a lot. And it was like the first time mom and dad picked strawberry and blueberries. This could be turned into a drinking game. Take a shot every time I accidentally say strawberries. Wait. Purple hands. I think my dog's out and gone to bed in the living room. I think he finds me boring because I'm not paying any attention to him. I've been pouring all the blueberries into the wrong basket. I'll go through it again later and pick out the blueberries. Well, I don't quite remember what she picked out for you. Could you remind me? How to jam? I don't even know how to jam, so it's fine, Caesar. This is my first time trying to make jam. But I want to learn how to make things from the ground up. So how I make stuff like jam and things like that on my own. I really enjoy being in the kitchen. It's like coming, and a lot of these projects, they take a lot of time, and there's nothing really that you can do to make it go faster. It just is. Like for example, with the vinegar, it takes a long time before it's like actually usable. So being in the kitchen has become a little bit like my meditation zone. Well, I would suppose that the living mannequin would think that the evil queen's clothes are a bit old-fashioned, seeming as that audio takes place in like a fantasy medieval world. So they're not really up to the current fashion. When you started writing the script for the new series, I thought I've been talking about where you guys will get to choose a lot about how the series will go. So that'll be fun. Yep. Hopefully, we can get a bit of a discussion going after each episode. So there will actually be a couple of options to pick from or to blend together. Oh my god. Ever since I saw Frederick on Million Dollar Listening, I just can't stop thinking about his accent and how that is my accent. Oh my gosh. I am not fond of the Swedish accent at all. What do you mean with a review stream? Yeah, we can do that. Most of the actual idea giving will be held over on Discord. Where I have created a chat designated for that audio series where I'll be posting different questions, and after each episode you can share your thoughts and such. And I will be mainly picking ideas from there. No voice chat. I'm also thinking of starting to work towards reopening Patreon this autumn. Depending on how much time I'll have, because as it's looking right now, I'll be having one day off a week. I don't quite feel comfortable doing voice chat, Caesar. We are slowly but surely making progress. I'm also hoping to, like, if I get this thing going with making jams, I would like to give it out to people in town. I'm sure they would think I'm some kind of weirdo, but still, it's something like I really like the thought of. Maybe when I move. Oh, just a second. Gonna take. Hate these things. And we've got the classic that comes usually every stream with Caesar. Turning my character into a human. Take care. And see you at the premiere tomorrow. I really don't like ticks. I found one in the crawling on my hand. That's probably in with the blueberries. But I really, 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 really don't like ticks. They're basically impossible to kill too. Matches clock. Okay. Basically what I'm doing right now is getting all the leaves and unripe blueberries or twigs or stems out because I don't want any of that in my jam. And there is a lot of it. But there is also a lot of blueberries. Yeah, I am going to. Once I have cleaned them out. Then we are going to mush them eventually. First, we are going to boil them, I think. Boil them and like throw in the sugar and that. But yeah, we are going to mush it. I wonder how long this stream is going to be. I should have thought of cleaning the blueberries before. They're really good this season. Really sweet. Yep. With the shovel my mom used to pick the blueberries out in the forest. She like got all the stems and everything along with it for a bunch of them. I have to get rid of it. Because this you do not want in the jam. I'm currently reading Around the World in 80 Days. I really like that book. I read it as a kid and I decided to read it again. So I bought the book when I was up in Stockholm. Was it Gothenburg? Oh, one of those places. And it is just such a fun book. I'm also learning a lot of old words that aren't really used anymore. Because I'm reading the translated version. I felt like, no way I am going to read English from the 1800s. No. I struggle enough with English, with Swedish from the 1800s. And I know like this isn't even all of the blueberries she picked because she picked like she gave half of it. Sorry. Well, I was so young when I read it. I was like 8 or something. I didn't remember there being talking about human sacrifices. That was a new one. Also, the main character, Phileas Fogg, he's kind of really boring. Like, the book is really good, but his character is just, no matter what happens, he's just, yeah, it's going to be fine. I can deal with that. Yeah, I got a new companion. We have to buy you some new clothes because you can't wear that all the way. But don't worry, I counted that in. It's like, So I'm a bit bothered by him, but like all the characters around him are so amazing. Like the servant, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name, but Phileas Fogg's servant is really, really amazing. He is very quick to temper and so protective over Mr. Fogg. So that's really fun to read. And as well as the detective trying to catch Fogg, because yeah, the book is over 200 years old. I am not even going to bother with a spoiler warning, because the detective thinks Phileas Fogg has robbed the bank, and so he's basically chasing him around the globe waiting desperately for the papers so he can arrest Mr. Fogg, and they're not coming. So he just becomes more and more frustrated, and he does like these really comical things in order to get him to stop. And now he's basically given up, but not really. Somehow, some way, he will arrest him. And so now they are on their way to San Francisco. One thing I also didn't notice when I read it as a kid, times have really changed. Because like today we recognize how like horrible colonization was and everything. And when you read this book, written by an Englishman in the 1800s, traveling around mainly like British colonies, they describe like how fantastic it is that the cities have been built in British image around the globe and everything. And now it's more focused on like the country's differences, like what makes each culture beautiful. But here it's just like, it looks like England, that's amazing. And they use words that wouldn't be appropriate today. So I find it interesting reading that, actually, since this is from the scope of a person 200 years in the past. Yeah, I am. Born, bred, and living in Sweden. I'm really excited. I was hoping that since I'm planning on. Yeah, we are trying to, but there have been for quite some time now a lot of issues with Turkey. So like from what I'm seeing on the news, we are not going to join anytime soon because Erdogan is still very against Sweden joining, and we need his approval. And I mean, I think it's going to be hard because Sweden and Turkey has such different political ideologies and views that one country wants them to bend after the others will, and the other way around, and I don't think it's going to work. We'll see. If it happens, it happens. I think we started the process of joining a year ago, I think. And then I think Hungary has some things against Sweden joining as well. I don't know if they cleared that up, but I heard them talking about it a few months ago. They were basically focusing on Turkey at the moment, which they still are. I am sympathizing so much with my grandmother right now when she had to be the only one to clean out hundreds of liters of mushrooms. All day, every day, she would stand in the kitchen just cleaning them, or she would take them out and clean them. And she was the only one who did it too. And then she would dry them. And then we got one. At least things are speeding up, because when I started the stream, I started by going one by one. It's getting there. Yeah. But I mean, hey, it'll be worth it when I can, when I come and visit my friend and I bring a jar of jam and be like, hey, have some. It'll be worth it then to give them something homemade. Garlic is my favorite thing in the world. I'm hoping, or well, now I know I'll be able to do it, but before, since I'm aiming at moving out to the country pretty soon, I was hoping I could get an apartment where I could have a miniature garden or a balcony or something like that, where I could grow my own stuff. And then I went onto the page to see the different apartments. There are 4 apartment blocks in the village, and all of them come with either a tiny garden or a balcony. So I'm really excited about that. Maybe I'll be able to grow some garlic. It'd be nice to have homemade garlic or homegrown garlic. Garlic is in general the best thing ever. It just makes pretty much every dish tastier. Would you imagine that I think I'm getting halfway and it's been like close to an hour? I went to see the new Indiana Jones movie this weekend. And for those of you who haven't seen it, go watch it. Like, I haven't seen any of the older Indiana Jones movies, but I really, really enjoyed this. Either way, I didn't think I was going to because I thought the movie would be full of old references, but it was really good. Hmm. What were you making that time? Why were you mushing garlic? I have to replant my monster as well. My mom gifted me a new monstera since when I lived in Örebro and frankly wasn't doing too good mentally. I let my plants go, which killed my monstera, and my monstera was my pride and joy. But she gifted me a new monstera. So I'm going to repot that because the wind blew it over. So it needs some stability. It needs a bigger pot. And it'll do great. Interesting. My great grandma used to make this delicious turkey for Christmas dinner. I think it was. Yeah, it was because we would watch Donna Doc after that. But she would make this delicious turkey, and don't worry, mine is too. And nobody knew the recipe, and my aunt, she tried to learn it by watching Stina make it, but like there was no way. So she unfortunately took that turkey recipe to the grave. Also, it reminds me of my great grandfather. Every year, every mushroom season, there goes around like this joke in Sweden that you can ask a Swede of how much they make or what they vote on. There isn't a problem. But you ask them where they pick the mushrooms, and we've got a big problem. And my great grandfather, he actually took that to his grave. He refused to tell anyone. My grandmother tried to find out on his deathbed where he got his mushrooms because he would always get like these ridiculous amounts. But no, he refused to tell. So, and my grandmother has never found that place. She has never found a place that scores as good as that. He always went to the same one year after year, and it always gives so much mushrooms. But no. I got this one comment the other day. No, it's probably just some spot out in the forest, but he refused to tell because that was his spot. Nobody else is allowed. He should take it like nobody wants to tell about their mushroom spots. And yet I don't really know all that many who like those kinds of mushrooms, but everybody enjoys picking them for some reason. I wonder if it would be good to make bread and put in blueberries. I'm gonna see if I can find a recipe for that. I imagine it'd be pretty tasty. Because I've been wanting to make a new batch of bread ever since I moved, and I just haven't gotten around to do it, especially since my mom has a bunch of bread, but I don't like her bread. So I'm thinking of making my bread. She has store-bought too. And I am trying to cut down on my plastic use. But maybe it'd be tasty that way. We'll have to see. You can try it when I make after I'm done with the jam. Yeah, I imagine that would be pretty tasty. I mean, blueberries are delicious, especially these ones. I feel so sad for people, those who don't have access to who only have access to store-bought or garden-grown blueberries because they just aren't the same as in the forest. Oh, way, way, way tastier in the forest. Just a lot sweeter. Tinier too, but we are getting somewhere at last. It feels like one pile is starting to grow and one pile is finally starting to get smaller. Not small, smaller. And then under the counter, I also have some wild strawberries that my mom also found, which is it's my favorite type of berry. I really want to grow them in my garden. Babies! Yeah, du. Yeah, now he's coming. Hey! Hey, Gillen! Hey, baby Sam! Ska du ha ett blåbär? Ska du ha ett blåbär? Ja, det är gott. We got a blueberry. That he is not eating. He put it on his pillow. Oh well, your loss. There you go. He always wants to get more before he eats the one he got. He always tries to get more. I also got an idea because I know a lot of creators do Talktober. And I was thinking of joining in, though I think writing a bunch of scripts or finding a bunch of scripts with like the horror theme would be a bit difficult, like that amount. So I'm thinking of doing the usual schedule, but then on top of that, like I'd be reading shorter form content like H.P. Lovecraft or Edgar Allan Poe, things that aren't copyrighted, obviously, and uploading that for the days in between. I think it'd be a pretty interesting challenge to try and get a video out every day for the month of October. And it's like it's the month before all hell breaks loose, let's be honest, because it's a month before performance season starts. November is always crazy. And this year I'll be at four different studios, which means four different performances probably. So, but October is, when you compare it, pretty chill actually. So I'm thinking of doing something with October where I'd narrate different stories. I'd have to Google how to pronounce a lot of words though. Because like when it comes to Edgar Allan Poe and such, they use a lot of strange words that aren't really used anymore and weren't that common back then either. Since like I think it's Edgar that wrote so much poetry. That's something I'm planning. Then like soon we'll have the elemental that will be starting to go up really, really soon. Jeez. It's kind of strange thinking it's actually starting to go up soon because I've been working on that project since February and it'll finally start soon. It is a very bad idea for me to be wearing a white shirt while doing this. I'm thinking of going to get my mom's apron to put on while I'm doing this just to protect my shirt because ever tried getting a blueberry stain out? Pretty much impossible. If you have any tips on that, by the way, please do let me know. I'll be right back. A white apron, eh? It'll be purple after this. Yeah, we are getting somewhere. It is. I think it's like half of the entire thing because I think I got half more. You can see the silhouette of it here. So I won't be cooking with all the strawberries today. I will be doing some and then I will be freezing in the others to wait. Or later when I have more time on my hands. Probably. But I mean, doing it by hand works too. I just don't know how a machine would get like the the stems out. Because I have to pick those out as well. But there's probably a machine that does that. There's machines for everything today. We are about, oh, yeah, we are about 1 liter in. Yeah, I get that. I've almost been there, honestly. Several times when life got too crazy, I had to like back down. Like at one point, I published a video every other week. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to go on like usual, even when I start working again this autumn. I'm really excited to start my new jobs. But I'm wishing you all the best of luck with getting back to YouTube. Oh, wrong boat. I think like one of the important things though is making sure to have balance, making sure you have other things outside that you keep doing. It's like that in general. Back when like the only thing I did was dance when I didn't have anything outside of dance, like it didn't go well. It really, was really starting to burn me out. Then I got injured, so I was forced to take a break. And when I got back, I had found different interests, and that really helped balance things out. I think that is something a lot of people here on YouTube have a hard time with. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not best at that right now. The sun's out. It's nice. For me, personally, like I've basically like been through dance. I've been really like pushed into the mindset of do it anyways. Like yeah, I don't feel like stretching. Yeah, I definitely don't feel like doing 200 sit-ups today, which I have to do, but I'm going to do it anyways. And I mean, yeah, at times that can be a bit of a bad mindset because it can kind of kill the joy in it. But that is what keeps me going. That like even when I don't feel like recording or editing, I do it anyways because I have a schedule that says that every Thursday, Friday, and Sunday I have uploads. And so I have to make sure that things go up. Yeah. I mean, it's good to be disciplined. You just have to keep watch so that it doesn't grow into something you do just because you have to. You have to find ways to keep the joy in it. And I think that is what I talked about earlier with having different interests outside of what you're doing. So like cooking for me, that is that's just something I do because I enjoy it. And that is honestly something I would never want to turn into like something like start a cooking channel or anything. I just really enjoy cooking and I want it to be for me. And then it also takes a long ass time to cook. So here we are with me streaming while I do it. Like in general. So I remember someone was like, why don't you start a cooking channel? And I was like, because I wanted to keep it for me. Actually, I had to take a pretty long break from painting because that happened. Because I tried to turn it into a business and I was just growing so tired of it. It was like my hands couldn't keep up with it. So my hands look so funny now with all the purple on them. I really learned in my year in Örebro to like slow down. Because in my year in Örebro, I didn't have any friends. All of my friends were far away, and I didn't have any friends in school or such. And I didn't have my family nearby or anything. And that was a really stressful situation. But when I lived there, I learned to slow down and enjoy things that couldn't be rushed. So, fermenting, growing stuff, all that. It's things that take their time and they can't be rushed. Today, our culture is so focused on everything needing to go fast. And I don't know, it's not something for me. I enjoy when I work. I enjoy going fast, like fast and intense, getting everything done, and then take a break once I'm finished. But life itself, I prefer having a bit of a slower outlook on it. Can't find it now. I dropped an unripe blueberry, but it's fine. Once we boil it, it'll mush just fine, probably. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. I can actually start to see the end of the bucket. We are getting there. Woohoo! Yeah, and like work, work, work for what? Get that promotion for what? Get all that money for what? My dad actually used to date a woman who made so much money. Seriously, oh my god. But she never relaxed, and she never lived. Like, me and dad we were tired, so we sat down on the parking lot, like just onto the asphalt. And she kind of looked as though that was something you couldn't do, and her mind was always into work. She never took a second to breathe and just do things for fun. She was always looking for what's the point of doing this? And especially from like an economical standpoint, because she works in the bank. So she was always analyzing thing and like, is it worth to go to the bathhouse? Like, do you have the money for it? Yeah. Do you want to? Yeah. Are you going to enjoy yourself there? Yeah. Do it. I was starting to learn because I grew up and we didn't have a lot of money at all. Um, so I grew up always worrying about money. And one thing that has kind of I have forced myself to, is being okay with spending. Because yeah, I'm saving. It's good to save money. It's really good to save. But what are you saving for if you're not going to spend it? Because like if you're saving for a goal like a car, a house one day, that's amazing. Of course you should save for that. But don't forget to live in the middle of it. All of a sudden this dream took a very deep philosophical turn. Mm, yeah, definitely. So like I have money saved up, but don't save all of it. Have a few have enough cash saved up to where you can live for a few months without like any income. That's my rule. I would like to get up to like half a year. That's a point where I would feel safe. It's okay, don't worry. The fact that I'm reaching the end of this. Oh, soon I can actually start processing these. And me and my dad, we have recently gotten a hand fist. What do you mean? Don't quite understand. Yeah, no, I think I'm going to use the potato musher. I don't, I have like an ick for like food textures. So I prefer being able to do as little mushing by my hands as possible. If I remember correctly, first I have to stir the blueberries themselves into a bit of a boil with some water and add in the sugar. And I think after that is when you mush it. Don't quite remember. But we'll pick up the recipe once I'm done with these. I was so surprised to find that one of my old classmates, who I still follow on Instagram from my gymnasium, has started exploring YouTube as well. Very different genre, mind you. But he has been doing some gaming content. Um, he's been streaming FNAF, which, oh, if I only had the time to watch, because one, I know he's a really expressive person, so I think he'd do really good with like horror content. And I really enjoy FNAF. I haven't played it, but I enjoy the theories and I enjoy watching people play it and that kind of stuff. And he's been doing a lot. He's in he's been in the radio a few times. As a journalist. Yeah, I know. Finally. It's a bit surprising though that it's coming out the same year as the Ruin DLC. Let's see. I'm a bit worried. He studied journalistics for a year, I think, and he's been doing a little work here and there. Like he's not a graduated journalist, but he seems to be enjoying it. So I'm really hoping it goes well for him. He's a really kind person. No! There, got it. A leaf fell into the blueberry pot, and as I tried picking it out, it just started sinking deeper and deeper, and I was like, no! I don't want to have a bunch of leaves in. But I know he has been in Sweden's Sveriges Radio, Sweden's radio, as well as he did an interview for a really popular TV show that I know he loves, so he was probably really excited about that. It was also, I don't know if you have this in other countries, but the graduating students always have, from the gymnasium, always have a competition in between the classes where you do, honestly, really stupid shit. And you try to collect as many points as possible, and then you get a cash prize where you can pay for your that can pay a bit of your graduation for like the party and all the celebrations around it for the class. And so he he was a champ who took the challenge of getting your armpits waxed. Like you had to film it to send it in to be okayed to get the points. But there were challenges like swim, like swim in the fountain for half an hour on a floaty, or a really popular one. It wasn't my year, but one that usually turns up is that you have to bicycle through the entire center of town in only your underwear, like swim through a river. And the challenges I did was I went up to my upstairs. Yeah, I think college students do similar things here in Sweden as well. Um, I did two challenges, I think. One where I stood on a bus and I pretended to be a what is it called? The people who work on a flight that like point out the exits. Yeah, I pretended to be one of those on a bus full of strangers. And then I also had to go up, and that was probably the most humiliating thing I've ever done in my life. Thank you, flight attendant. Was go to my upstairs neighbor, only wearing a towel and a hair turban, and ask if I could borrow their soap. The thing was that they didn't quite understand Swedish, so they were so confused, and they actually like invited me into their apartment. I was just like, no, just give me the soap. My mom came up to them afterwards and like tried to explain what was going on, and they got it. They had apparently been discussing what had just happened afterwards. Poor people barely understand the language and all of a sudden. Yeah, my class did win. We were we won through the final challenge, the final two challenges, where one, get a tattoo of the school logo, which someone in the class actually did, and B, ride on a live cow. That one was difficult. We almost lost the competition because of that, but yeah, we won. We did every single challenge. So we got the cash prize, and we could actually have a pretty nice breakfast. Hi there. How are you doing? Neighbors. I am I'm great. I am almost through with fixing up the blueberries so I can make some jam. It is getting there. Hej bebis! Så du smyger där? I have this much left, and I have basically a lot. I think it's getting close to 2 liters. Hej! Ska du få ett till blåbär? Ja, ska du få blåbär? Jag gillar blåbär. Sorry, the dog came up, so I had to give him another blueberry. But yeah, it is a lot. And there's going to be a lot more coming up since my mom loves walking in the forest, and I've asked her to like pick a bunch so I can make a bunch of blueberry jam to give away to people. Like possibly, I don't know, possibly like sell. I don't know. We'll see. But I am planning on making one batch of blueberry jam now to see how it tastes and everything. I've never done this before. And also make some blueberry bread because I got that idea earlier. My grandma. Yeah, she's still looking. And she's still so salty about it. Also, like, why is that the thing you ask your father about on his deathbed? Where do you get your mushrooms? She's a very special lady. I love her. And then what we don't use today, plan is to freeze in so I can work on that next time and also like continue cleaning up whatever more blueberries my mom brings. My father has promised me to let me use his freezer to store the blueberries in until I can fix them. Apparently, if you just add enough sugar, it should keep up to half a year. I'm really excited. My paprika. My paprika plant has started getting flowers, so I'll have to take care of that so I can actually get some fruit from it soon. Because it doesn't stand in a place where it gets any pollinators. Bark. That was the first. I haven't found bark before. A tiny piece of bark just laying there. Oh my gosh. We are almost there. Almost, almost, almost. I could imagine like this would be a really relaxing thing to like just turn on a TV show and go and do. Yep. Over an hour and a half of me just cleaning berries. I didn't think it was going to take this long. I'll be honest. I knew it was going to take a while, but I didn't think it would take this long. Hopefully, the end product will be worth it. Oh my god, I'm so stiff in my neck and shoulders at the moment. Since I've been sitting like this the entire time. I am very impressed at my grandmother, who used to be able to like pick all the mushrooms that my entire family would bring. I'm really excited because on Wednesday I will meet with my colleague and we will start planning for the class we're holding together. We teach a special performance group at our studio. I started that group with her and then I went off to college for a year. Dropped out of college and now I'm back. So I'm really excited. I've heard they've made a lot of progress, both with their technique, flexibility, and everything. So I'm really excited to be able to push them a bit harder than I've usually been able to do, both in their acrobatics and in their technique and everything. Yeah, and they've come so far since they started. They're bound to, since they train 3 times a week, that group. Yeah, I'd be in shock if they hadn't. But I see that a couple of them, most of them at the end of this term, all of them had their splits, their front splits. and a couple of them had also achieved an oversplit, as well as like them being able to land a good double pirouette and that kind of thing now, which means I'll be able to teach them more advanced stuff. And basically, like the class I teach to them is a lot of tricks and acrobatics, jumps, turns, all that jazz. So it's nice to hear they've progressed, so we can move on to a bit more difficult things. But I'm following the training schedule that my colleague sent over for that group. And I was in shock yesterday when I saw this week's schedule, and I opened up, and the first exercise for today, because like there are other exercises for today as well, 200 sit-ups, and I'm just like, yeah, higher chance of injury, just being generally more difficult. I was thinking we are going to go into Alasakon turns, which is like a continuous turn that goes. If you've seen Dance Moms, you've seen that turn. And I want my students to be able to land a solid double before we even start practicing Alasakons. And since they can do that now, okay, that was kind of cute. Little bug. He's dead though. He's kind of cute. And like with the acrobatics, like yeah, obviously there's a higher risk of injury there when you move on to more difficult skills. But as long as you've got the base stuff down, it's usually fine. I say. Like the plan is, because they've been practicing standing on each other's backs and that kind of stuff. So now they are going to practice standing on each other's shoulders, and as well as moving up to standing while having a person on their shoulder. So I suppose that involves a higher risk. We are getting to the finish line. Yay! I think 2 more hands and then we'll be done. After that, we can clean. Excuse me. After that, we can go ahead and clean them and measure out how much of it we are going to use. We are going to be using 8 deciliters. They do a bit of everything, but they mostly focus on acro, jazz, contemporary, and ballet. Which is like, those are the styles me and my colleague are the most comfortable in. Our goal is to be able to bring them to trips to where they can take class from other teachers. And I am actually going to suggest one way we are going to do that to start collecting money this term. Sorry. To be able to afford going on a trip where they can take like class from other styles like disco and hip hop and Latin styles they aren't used to. And it would be fun to be able to like take them a bit further away than just their hometown, so they'd be able to like take a bus and sleep in a different town for like a day and then go back. That'd be really fun to do. But I've been doing some research on different ways that aren't the usual. You look strange. You're pink. Yep. Oh, okay. One more hand, then we're done. Then we will be able to cook the blueberries. It's almost starting to get a bit tired. +3. It's just getting difficult to pick them up, right? It isn't that much left. It's really little. You just need to grab a hold of them. That was kind of cute. I think we're going to do like this. And then just pour the rest in because it's so little at this point. I can barely grab onto them. Do we get everything? Nope, we got there. And And we are done. Woo! Okay. Back to the kitchen. Ooh, I am so excited now. Like, look at this, all the goodies. So much blueberries. I am just going to wash off my hands and then I am going to measure everything out. Stay hydrated. I'll be right back. I'm back. And I am just going to find my tools that I put somewhere. I can't quite remember where. So I can weigh everything out. Not here. Ah. Okay, let's look up at the recipe. Okay. We are going 500 grams. The big one is here. Let's use a big one just for the sake of it. There. 14, 29, 27, 47, 64, 55. Yeah. 129, 147, 70, 83, 206, 27. Four hundred and 87, 90, 93, 95, 6, 8, 500. I'm going to wash these. Just make sure there isn't any residue gunk on it. You actually don't look too good. Two hours in, and we're actually now starting to make jam. Kind of fish. I wonder how many these are. A lot, but I would wonder. Take care. And good luck with work. Go. How much water do we need? And it for only that much? Well, 1 to 2 deciliters. Let's go with 2. Färskpressad citron. Yeah. I forgot to put that in. It's fine. Went to the shop earlier because I forgotten to buy some things I needed. My dog's hearing me packing up stuff, so he's getting all curious as to what I'm doing. I have done a few videos where I put in snippets of Swedish. For example, I did one ages back. A wedding audio where I do speak to where my character starts speaking to a relative in Swedish. But yeah, I've been thinking of it. Another creator I follow, Ali, she does some of her videos partly in French, and I just find it so fun. So yeah, I am thinking of it. I'm just not sure if people would find it boring, but maybe like little snippets. Also, I'm kind of worried because Swedish isn't generally thought as one of those pretty languages. It just is. A lot of the time, people think it sounds kind of funny. There we go. We got the lemon and the water and the blueberries. Rensa och skölj ut blåbär, lägg i en tjockbottnad gryta med vatten, färskpressad citron. Koka upp och rör då och då, låt koka på en lite över medelvärme i 10 minuter. Koka med lock. Okay. So we are going to put this on heat, and we are going to let it heat up, and we are going to stir every now and then. It's going to be on for about 10 minutes. And once it's up, it should be made with covering the thing. Now these simple words I just keep forgetting. My mom also found wild strawberries when she was out. So tasty. We are going to spoon wild strawberries. They're smaller and a lot sweeter. But really, really tasty. When should I mush them? I feel like I should be mushing them about now. So we are going to find potato grinder, potato musher, or whatever we call it. Now here we are getting somewhere. Not quite sure. It said that the initial boiling, once it goes up to boiling, it should stay there cooking for about 10 minutes. And then I will add in the pectin and the sugar. 10, 15, 20-ish. I'd say about half an hour maybe before it is ready. There we go, it's starting to heat up. We are going to lower the heat. But it's looking good. I don't know if you can see. Okay. It's looking good. It's looking purple. Now it's starting to look really good. I feel like I've mashed most of it. And the other bit will be a bit of texture. That'll be nice. I'm going to put it down to here, and we are going to cover. If we can find some covering. Here we are. We're going to stir it every once in a while. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. Yeah, because it's burning. In the meantime, I am going to take care of the lemon bits because I'm saving the lemons to make my cleaning solution. And the ice cube tray. I use a lot of lemon in my cooking, so I like always having some on hand. There we go. I made the cleaning solution a while back as like an experiment to see how it goes. And I really, really liked it. It turned out so good. So now I'm saving up more lemon peel so I can make it again. Because when I moved, I threw out it. Oh dear, oh dear. We're going to lower the heat a bit more, I think. Måste nog brisket coming over. I don't know. I'm a bit. I don't know if I believe in ghosts to say, but I have seen things that I can't quite explain. I believe my 2 places I've lived in have been haunted, or like some kind. There was something there. It wasn't. It was kind of creepy, like things being thrown through across the room and that kind of stuff. And that was really strange. Otherwise, I would have just thrown it away to like being half awake or half asleep when it happened. But I have seen, in the old place I used to live in, I have seen something stand at my door. I used to have really bad nightmares where and a really bad feeling about my room. I hated being in it. And like I would hear these noises and everything, and toys would be in different places than where I left them and that kind of stuff. Really creepy, and like people who visited our house would hear people calling their name or calling my name and things like that. So it was a really creepy place, honestly. And yeah. And so one of the nights, I saw a woman standing at my door, and I was just like, oh God, not again. Because I would see things standing at my door quite regularly. But this time it was different. And because she was wearing a white dress and she had long brown hair, and she just gave this feeling like it's going to be okay. I don't have to worry tonight. And I didn't have any nightmares or anything that night. Then a few years later, me and my mom talk about something, because she has had experiences in that apartment too, from when I was really little. But she has had a bunch of experiences in that apartment. But the ones we started talking about that time was when I was little, I had problems with my lungs. So she would have to like keep an eye out, because she might have to drive me to the hospital that night. But ever so often, she would see a woman standing over my crib. And she would just have this feeling that everything is going to be okay. Nothing bad is going to happen tonight. And it wouldn't. I would be completely calm. I could breathe without problems for those nights. And this woman that mom claimed she saw was wearing, and we had never spoken about it. Oh, sorry. Oh dear. And we had never talked about this before, like explained what the woman we saw looked like. But she was also wearing a white dress, brown hair, and like the same feeling. So very strange. Sorry, I need to take this. Just a second. Hej mamma. Det är bra. Jag håller på att streama just nu. Inte vad jag är medveten om. Jag har varit och handlat. Yes. Ja. Hej. I don't know. None of us have seen her after we moved. So, no idea. the thing also was like when we moved, we didn't have any problems anymore. My things stayed in place. There were no strange sounds or anything, and all of that. Then I moved to Örebro, and there things started getting weird again. Like I and people who visited, they would all feel like something was watching them from a very specific place in my apartment. Um, I didn't get the vibe that it was malicious. As long as I kept that one door closed, it was fine. Like if I forgot to close that door, my stuff would start um, magically being flung across the room really loudly, preferably while I tried to study. So, yeah, honestly, I am fine with not having whatever might have been. So I'm hoping that whenever I move to my new apartment, that things stay quiet there too. My dad has had really strange experiences as well, which again, he can't really explain what it is. And he's kind of unsure as well if he believes in ghosts. Hey. Oh my god. But he's had experiences where, like, for example, really recently, and it's not strange for him to be thinking about something like that, but it's just such a coincidence. He was thinking about accidents, and then all of a sudden the truck in front of him gets into an accident, and he didn't see the actual crash, but he saw the truck in front of him had stopped, and then he saw that the truck in front of him had moved, which is when another truck came and hit it. Mhm. Or like he got this really bad feeling, so he started driving faster or slower, which like that helped him not get into an accident. So I don't know. I think something's out there. I just don't know what. Okay. We are going to move on with the next step, which is I had last year I told a few of my ghost stories. I have a bunch more. Blanda i socker samt koka 5 minuter till, rör då och då. Yes, so we are going to pour in the sugar. We are going to pour in 380 grams of sugar. Yeah, because I have so many ghost stories that have happened to me, that have happened to relatives. So many weird things. Sextiosju, 89, 108, 129. Because it was 380 grams, yeah. This is going to like fill the entire bowl. 207. 247. 285. 242. 358. 70. Ooh, that's always lovely. Yeah. 385 grams of sugar. Basically the entire bowl. There. I'm going to stir the sugar in. And this is later going to start giving it that jam consistency, according to what I've read. My aunt, she was actually pushed down the stairs from something that lived in the apartment she lived in that time. She was home alone with the kids and she was pushed down the stairs, she claims. And they moved out pretty quickly after that. And we are going to let this boil for another 5 minutes. And occasionally stir in it. Genom sylten med en tesked. Sprinkelse i ytan. Om sylten ej flyter ihop. Är den bra, är den rinnig så kan du tillsätta extra flytande pektin och enligt ovan samt koka 2 minuter till. Och sedan göra om provet eller chansa på att den stelnar fint ändå. Den stelnar till lite extra efter några timmar svalt. Okay, so we're going to put the bowl into the refrigerator. So with that we can test if the jam has a good consistency. Here it's not boiling anymore. I have to bring it up a bit. So cute. My dog is finally eating. No, wild strawberries. The blueberries that are left are in here. Blueberries which I'm going to freeze in. Which actually, like, I can do it now. While I'm waiting, we are just going to start again. Still not coming up. Let's get some freezer bars and just put in the blueberries. Since my mother will be arriving home soon after work, I think I will push off baking the bread until another day when I have some more time. And pretty much as soon as I'm done with this, I will have to go out with the dog. It's been a couple of hours now. There. Now I can see what's going on in the chat in case anything happens. I wonder if she does. That means we could get the consistency even smoother. We are going to do this. We are going to blend it out once we're done with the boiling. Alright. Because preferably I like really smooth jam. I don't really like bits and pieces of food. Yeah, or like the berry. I like smoothness. Yeah. Like the skins and the berries and the pulp. So I'm thinking I'm going to blend that out. Is it boiling? Yeah, now it's boiling again. Good, good. Hey, buddies. He wants to go into the living room, but he doesn't want to leave me alone. He wants me to come with him. Let's weigh this out once everything is in, just to see how much blueberries we got. We have 562 grams of blueberries left. I'm guessing there will be a few other blueberry jam making streams since I want to be able to make as much with this season's blueberries as possible. I'm hoping to be able to learn how to can, which means I can store everything for much longer than I would be able to otherwise. Okay. So we are going to do a test. Oh, first we are going to blend this out. I've never used one of these. We'll see how it goes. Of course, it's all the way over there. We'll bring the jam. It's going to be noisy for a little while I blend it. So mind your ears. Okay, maybe we don't do that. We won't do that. I think I missed my shot. Whoops. I'm just going to clean up because it's splattered everywhere. No evidence left. Haha. Okay, so now we are going to do a little test to see if it is ready or if it needs a bit more pectin. Okay. So I've cooled down this bowl. We are going to take some of the jam, put it in. It's already starting to thicken a bit. Like that much. A little bit. We are going to put this in the fridge like a couple of minutes, and then we are going to test if it's good. And if not, we can put it in the freezer so it will go a bit faster. If it has a good consistency by then we will finish it and put it in the jars. And if not, then we will put in some pectin to like make it a bit thicker. So that's the plan. And we're going to take some more wild strawberries. Actually, when I was young, because at my grandfather and grandmother's cottage, I would always grow so many wild strawberries. And I would take like a little grass straw and I would put them on there. I think we'll let it cool down for a bit longer. Yeah, I'm actually planning on it. Because they're really easy to grow. They're not as tasty as the ones in the wild, but they're good. Bless the gods for making the dishwasher. At my old apartment, I didn't have a dishwasher, so now things run so much quicker. When I can just throw it in. I'll hand wash that. Okay. There is so much I'm gonna grow once I have my own garden. Next season, whew, you'll be impressed. Okay, now it'll be done. Let's see. We can take the knife. Yeah, I think we will take a bit more pectin. Oh my goodness, that is so tasty. Mm. Take care. And I will see you some other time. that much, and then we shall turn it up onto boil again for around 2 minutes, and then it should be good. Pectin is just to give it a bit more of that jammy consistency. I have read up. As said, I've never done this before, but I have read a lot about it. I also read that you can use lemon, the hard bits in the middle. The lemon seeds. Yes, that's the one. Then you can use lemon seeds for it. Okay. Hi, Josh. I'm just reading up on the instructions. I'll be right with you. Okay, so we are going to let this boil now for another 2 minutes, and then we are going to do the pectin test again. And if the consistency is good, then we shall let it be. Then we shall put it into the jars. If it is not good, then we shall have to add in some more pectin. So we shall set the timer for 2 minutes. I shall just rinse off the bowl. I hope you're doing well. I'm not being very thorough with it now since there's not a big jam and sugar in it anyways. There we are. I think this is the longest time I've ever been streaming. Yeah. Yes. Because usually I try to keep it around 1 hour, 1.5 hours. But now we're doing an entire project, and I can't just cut it off before it's finished. I need to show you the final product, you know. If you're not going to see the final project, I can make a little short about that later. But what was I going to say? You're going to see almost the final product. It's getting really warm in the kitchen. Opening up the windows a bit more. Hey! My mom. She has arrived. Okay, so we are going to do the pectin test once again. So we are going to put some of the jam into a bowl and then into the freezer. And if the consistency is good, then we can move on to putting it in the jar. If it is not good, we will have to do this again. I was actually thinking of maybe making blueberry bread, but that will have to be for another time because this is taking so long. I wasn't quite expecting this, but I am a slow cook. What can I say? So now we are just going to let the jam cool a bit in the freezer. Cross our fingers that everything turns out good, and we'll see. Hej killen! Vill du komma? Nej! Let's see. Mean House of the Rising Sun is pretty good. That is one of my all-time favorites. Jag har inga mer blåbär att ge dig. Eller jo, det har jag. Sista blåbär. Ska du ha? Ja! Ska du ha blåbär? Du får ingen mer. Let's see. Is it good yet? It's still too warm. Kan du höra henne? Ja, det är någon stormatte. Ja, jag tycker stormatte kommer. The dog can hear my mom coming up the stairs. Hang on a second. My dog's a little bit happy. Just a tiny smidge. He's missed my mom. And I'm like just hearing him slip around the floor. I think it's about good to test now. So we are going to see, is it ready? Does it wrinkle? Yes. Does it wrinkle to my satisfaction? No. I am not entirely pleased with this. We are going to add in some more. There, we are going to bring this up to a boil again for another 2 minutes. We are going to redo the test. Samma sak med. Framåt. Va? Nej, det tar bara tid. Väldigt lång tid. Så fort jag är klar med detta så ska jag kasta mig ut med honom. Jag vet med honom vid 12.
Okej. Vill jag byta?
Jag har inte kunnat liksom överge detta i och med att det kokar.
Vill jag byta? Ja.
Om du orkar.
Ja, det kan vi.
Thank you. My dog's really playful right now. He's so happy. Men jag kan säga, alltså det smakar så gott. Så nu handlar det bara om att få till rätt konsistens. Mhm. Hi, Josh. So it wasn't enough, so we have to do it again. I have turned on the half a minute left, and then we are going to do the pectin test again. Third time this time. Okay. We are going to get the boat and we're going to do the pectin test. And we're going to explain it this time. I'm going to do it anyways. Yeah, I have been thinking of trying to make it a bit more scheduled. I've been also thinking of like when I move, I'm going to save up money to buy the thing so I could start trying to do a game content. I am so bad at games, but I don't know, it might be fun. And we're going to wait for a few minutes. Cross our fingers, it's good. I think it should be good. It was showing a bit wrinkles in some places before, so now with the added pectin, it should be enough. As a jam? Yeah, if you come and get it, you can have some. Let's see if it's ready. Not yet. Both still too warm. We are going to wait for a little bit longer. No, I've never tried it. I do. Is it a brownie? Hang on, I have to Google what it translates to. Yeah, no, I haven't made it. I've made mud pie. Mud cake. I'm a freaking master at those. But no brownies. No. Cake can be nice too. I hear the little sounds my dog is making right now, and he's so happy my mom is back. I had to see what my dog was doing. Okay, let's do this. Final test. Yes, now it's looking good. Okay, so we are going to turn off the heat. I believe it is approved. It is approved. Yeah, so now we are going to pour it into the jars. Yeah, so we are going to bring out the jars. I only have bigger jars. Well, we'll have to. It'll have to be like that. Oh well. I only have these, the size of a jar. It'll be fine. That works too. Well, for what I've tasted thus far, it is really freaking delicious. I don't think we're going to need more than one jar for this. Possibly two. Raspberry jam is really nice too. Yeah, it's set to leave in the fridge for a few hours. So I will not be tasting it, doing it right now. But afterwards, definitely. Okay, what else on the inside? Look at this goodness. Yeah, I've seen recipes where they recommend to add lemon as well. I think for this time, since it's my first time, I just want to make plain. But next time I might go like 50-50, make some just normal blueberry jam and some with lemon peel. Smells a lot like blueberry pie. And we've got our jam. I'm gonna clean up the jar a bit so it looks a bit nicer before I put on the...
Titta! Så många timmar för det lilla.
Ja.
My lord.
Det var typ hälften av dina blåbär.
Okej.
Smaka. Är det godkänt?
Ja.
Bra. My mom approves. So, yeah. Hang on, I am just going to get some paper to wipe the rim.
Jag har aldrig påstått att jag är som jag ska, kommer aldrig att bli. Så. Det är när jag tittar på lite toxic blick i svenska förhållanden.
Definitely. When I moved, I was... I couldn't cook for the life of me. Decided to learn, grew an interest in it. And now here we are, making jam.
Make pasta when you move.
I could make pasta, but that's about it.
Yep.
So warm. it's really fun, like learning how to cook food. My goal is like making most of my stuff from the ground up, like from the base ingredients. Obviously, some things I can't make from the base. Most of it. Probably. It is really tasty. Once I get a hand on some smaller jars, I am going to give my father some as well, so he can bring it to his work. I want to give things to my friends and family and that kind of stuff. So most of the things I make will be given away, but I am definitely going to keep some for myself. Okay, what's next? Sätt på lock, låt svalna. Sylten är klar att användas, men ställ gärna in i kylen. I've got some little hair by my nose. Okay, so now we are going to put on lids. But yeah, the plan is to later get stuff so I can learn canning, so I can actually preserve these things for like a really long time. But I don't know how that skill quite yet. There. Yeah, people have been coming and going a little bit all over the stream. There's usually been like 1 or 2 people in the chat at a time. One jar. Over 3 hours of work for 1 jar of jam. Wait, I am supposed to let it cool first. Yeah, sure. It's hard to let. Yeah, so that's about it. I am going to clean up this mess I made and talk to you some other time. Yeah, take care, Josh, and any other potential people that might see this later. I don't know. Bye.